Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Boruto anime review. This one's going to be for episode 259. I thought that this was a solid episode. I appreciated Mitsuki getting the focus here, the return of Mikazuki, the cat. It referenced, obviously, like previous episodes involving the cat, which was sort of nice, but was for the most part a somewhat standalone episode. It obviously played on some of the themes that they were trying to go for in that previous arc, and they did it here. That being sort of, the past kind of coming up again. In a way, some of the stuff we've been exploring recently of like, should you let your quest for revenge ruin what is otherwise like a sort of nice life you've developed for yourself? And so through Hibiki and her brother wanting to find the person who killed their father, we see that even though they've developed a life for themselves in the Leaf Village, they are obsessed with revenge and hunting down the person who did it, and that is putting their life here at risk. Even though otherwise, we can see that they are good people and that Hibiki is looking after Mikazuki. It's just this event from their past that they need to, resolve. I appreciated, Mitsuki ultimately sort of sticking, getting involved in this and putting his neck on the line in a way for this. He gets punished at the end a little bit as well. But it was a relatively small scale thing in the grand scheme of things, and that like, okay, they're going around constantly slashing the clothes of old shinobi open who were wind style users. And it's all to find out the person who should have an X-shaped scar on their chest from the defensive wounds left by their father. There's like investigation going on in the background. The main significance of this is that Mitsuki sort of figures that it's them somewhat early on in the episode and sort of protects them initially. And he's sort of the one who kind of helps focus the investigation on, in a way, capturing this, criminal that's in the Leaf Village. Because like, the idea is that they're only being criminals because there is a bigger criminal here, and it's that dynamic. Because they're not actually like full on hurting people. Like, obviously, like it's a tough situation because like they're effectively like almost knocking people out, but it doesn't seem like they're trying to severely hurt anyone. But obviously, the thing is, if they did find the person, what were they actually planning to do? Because obviously, Hibiki has the sword. That the secret sword and the flute that she has. So there's obviously that. And it's obviously meant to be that thing, if left alone, they might have killed someone and in a way ruined their own lives, and that would be like a cycle of hatred, cycle of revenge kind of going wrong. But in a way, because of Mitsuki stepping in, because I suppose the Leaf Village do care a little bit more, they put the effort in, we see that even the police force begin to investigate this more and realize that, oh, there's an old Windstall user living here who has committed crimes in other towns. They begin to connect the dots here, and they don't just like make assumptions about everything. So that was good, in that they took a sort of nice approach there and not just sort of vilifying Hibiki and her brother the whole episode, but they actually it worked out in the end, and Mikazuki the cat was involved, revealing that he had put like sort of, I guess, makeup over the scar, and it gets scratched off, and that's what happens there. Not much of an action scene. Obviously, this guy seemed good at wind style enough that he could sort of like hurt and kill people, but not skilled enough to fend off any notable character really. So action-wise, nothing too much here, but it just gave Mitsuki a little bit more to do. Refocusing, like, okay, he has these other aspects to him. He's not just the character who's obsessed with Boruto anymore. He does have these other elements to him with the cat, which was connected to, obviously, previous solo episodes with him. Now, he developed this, relationship with Hibiki that, none of the other characters were involved with. It was just Mitsuki on his own. And, he he seems to be getting these little connective episodes of just these individual characters who have an influence on him. Like, Boruto still seems to be the one who he overall wants to follow the most closely. But, like, he has the cat from a previous episode, and now he knows basically what the cat's favorite food is from this episode because of Hibiki. And that's just a nice little thing for the character who otherwise feels like, like Mitsuki wouldn't necessarily have any friends just because of, like, his origins and where he comes from. But he actually ends up having this surprising group of friends, group of characters that he had a connection to, and that's a really notable thing, of course, just that they're making the connections to the previous episodes, and that, like, let's not forget, we had a very large anime original arc involving Mitsuki and the what were they called, the artificial kind of beings as well. That was a notable arc for him as well. So yes, ultimately, is there too much to read into with this episode? Not necessarily, but I thought it was reasonably well animated, and it had some interesting enough stuff going on. Not going to be an episode that blows anyone away, I think, but solid. As for next week's episode in the preview, I saw Kakashi in it, and that made me go like, okay, cool. Boruto Kakashi team up, I guess. No clue. Not even going to try and read into what's going on with all these, like, what, old men arguing or something like that, and then the episode seems to be titled something about love. Not sure what the deal is there. We'll have to wait and see for next week. But I do enjoy, even though the individual episodes at times aren't the most, riveting, fascinating to discuss, I like these sequences of episodes where we are jumping from very different thing to very different thing, like whole different groups of characters. They're fun to have every once in a while, definitely. So they're my thoughts on this week's episode. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are, but that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.